So President Biden is trying to start World War III as we speak, before he leaves office, it seems, or at least the deep state puppets are actively trying to do this behind the scenes. Congress is now calling for impeachment under the 25th Amendment, hearing from a number of representatives calling for this right now. And Europe is bracing for nuclear war this afternoon. A few hours ago, of course, President Trump pledged to end the war between Russia and Ukraine, called for an immediate cessation of violence. And then within a few short hours after that, President Biden and NATO decided to launch long-range weapons inside of Russia for the very first time. And here was the front page of the New York Post. Ukraine reportedly using long-range missiles, first time to blow up Russian weapons facility as Putin issues a nuke warning to America. Here was the Wall Street Journal. Ukraine uses U.S.-provided long-range missiles in Russia for the first time. And it was almost immediate, like right after President Biden gave the green light to do this, Zelensky and NATO, with the coordination of NATO. Make no mistake, this is not just Ukraine doing this. This is NATO coordination and this attack. And now we have, of course, the move to bring President Biden and remove him from office. That's right, using Article 25, or the 25th Amendment, and impeach President Biden. The congressman who's drafting that legislation right now, the Articles of Impeachment, is Congressman Keith Self from Texas, and he joins us now from Capitol Hill. Congressman, good to see you. Welcome to Redacted. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me on this important issue.
Congressman, what prompted you to jump into this and to say we're going to draft Articles of Impeachment? This is a violation of the Constitution.
Well, I have drafted Articles of Impeachment. I've sent them to the lead shop. We have language back. But what I'm asking for before I drop these articles is I'm asking for a briefing, because we don't know what the president authorized. We don't know if he put any parameters on it. We don't know if he put any exceptions on it. So that's what I've asked for. And I have energized them with these draft impeachment articles. So I'm looking for them to tell me and to tell the American people, what did you approve? Because you're exactly right. We have outsourced our military decisions to Ukraine. They're not an ally. Yes, we have the agreement from 2014, but this could be an impeachable offense depending on what he said, what he authorized, and what Ukraine is doing.
And, of course, Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, the authoritarian leader of Ukraine right now, who, of course, canceled elections, was very fast today to speak out on this and to say, look, we've got a lot more of these weapons. We are ready to use them, sort of gloating, really, about these U.S.-made weapons and saying, threatening Russia, we're about to use more of these. So it is interesting. What did the Biden administration, what authorization did they give him? An unrelenting use of these missiles, or just the 6 that they fired last night?
Well, they have a whole lot more than 6, I guarantee you. But we need to know what he approved. And listen, the reason I am concerned about this is because I spent a whole year on a strategic nuclear watch in the European Command back during the Cold War. I studied the packages that would kill millions of people across the Soviet Union, and they were capable of doing that to us. We do not need to be outsourcing our decisions against a nuclear adversary, which Russia is. Now, I've got it. They don't have nearly our GDP, but they do have a nuclear force. And that's what concerns me. I don't think the people on the Hill are taking this nearly seriously enough. This could be a Cuban Missile Crisis moment, and that's what concerns me. That's why we've got to get to the bottom of exactly what the president authorized, and I am calling for a briefing. I apologize for the noise in the background. I'm in my Capitol office. They're calling us for votes very shortly. Thank you.
And I absolutely. I know you have to run down to the floor in just moments. Do you think that Speaker Johnson will bring these articles of impeachment to the floor for a vote?
Well, I am waiting to drop them until I get this briefing, because I don't know enough now. This could indeed be an impeachable offense, but frankly, I don't know yet. That's why I'm asking for it. That's why I've drafted the articles, because I want to push them to tell the American people exactly what he did. Because, again, I don't want to outsource our potential nuclear war decisions to Ukraine. And remember, President Biden is the only man that has the football next to him, and you have minutes to decide if Russia decides to launch an attack, not hours, minutes to decide if you're going to respond. This is very concerning to me.
Very concerning to all of us watching right now. We are a vehemently anti-war show here at Redacted. And the fact that the President of the United States, after President Trump wins the election, and 24 hours ago calls for an immediate cessation of hostilities in Ukraine, stopping this where it is right now, we want peace. And then a few short hours later, the lame duck President of the United States sanctions an attack inside of Russia. I mean, it seems almost like it rises to the level of treason.
Well, we don't want to make a miscalculation here. I think he's already made one by authorizing this. But miscalculations, when we're talking about nuclear war, are very serious. The consequences could be disastrous. And that's why I am so concerned, because everyone has an opinion about this. But frankly, Ukraine and Russia are the two at war. Once you release the dogs of war, you don't know where they're going. You don't know what Putin is thinking. And I was always taught in the military, in my 25-year career, you don't go with what their intentions or what they say. What are their capabilities? And if we make a serious miscalculation here, Ukraine drags us into World War III. Catastrophic. That's very catastrophic. We have 338 million Americans potentially in harm's way.
What is Europe saying about this? What would Europe's position? I mean, they seem to be they would be attacked first. And you have support from Germany, from France, from the UK. It seems like it's like a world gone mad right now, Congressman.
Well, frankly, we are hearing unconfirmed reports that both the UK and France are going to authorize their Storm Shadow missiles to be used by Ukraine. Very analogous to our ATACMS, our long-range missiles. So again, if Europe is leading us into World War III, we don't want to outsource that decision. We want to keep it to ourselves, which is why we must know what the president agreed to.
We'll get you out of here on this, Congressman, so you can get down to the floor for these votes. This would mean Kamala Harris, President of the United States. How does that sit with you?
Oh, it doesn't sit well at all. We do not want Kamala Harris, but I want the administration to admit what they did, and I want the House to take action because we need to be stronger. There's got to be an adult in the room on this conversation. And frankly, right now, I think it's got to be the House. It's not whoever's running the government. So I'm simply pushing people to be the adults in the room to say, this is not the direction we want to go.
All right. Congressman Keith Self, who serves on the Veterans Affairs and Foreign Affairs committees, bringing articles of impeachment, written them, just waiting for those to drop once we find out exactly what the president has authorized here. Congressman, thank you so much. Good luck with this. We appreciate you taking some time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your attention to it.